Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Beaky, and I'm back. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk NFTs, racing, and F1. And what happens when a licensed official NFT game loses their license? Like, what happens to the value of that NFT you just spent up to almost $100,000? Wait, no. Maybe you spent $288,000 on a virtual car, and then you can't, as a company, secure the license for your game, and now NFT is kind of devalued because guess what? If there's no game to play that NFT in the car, in the game, well, that NFT is kind of not worth that much. And now you're going to trade in your NFTs for other tokens for other games. But it's not going to be worth the almost $300,000 you pay for it. Now imagine if you were in that situation. You were just so hyped, like, yes, F1, this official company, they got this license. Oh, yes, I could finally get something that's legitimate. And they didn't think of the aspect of video games, especially online video games, shut down all the time. We as gamers know this. If you spend money on microtransactions, eventually, those games usually do shut down. And all the money you pumped into your microtransactions, all the color skins are just going to be worth nothing. You're going to get nothing for it. The difference I'll say here is usually, mind you, right? You're not spending tens of thousands, even into hundreds of thousands of dollars into microtransactions into video games. But with NFTs, these things come as almost investments and you're hoping to make your money back. So if these companies fail very soon or after 2 to 3 years, those investments that you made thinking it's going to be officially continuing a license is not going to be worth anything. So what am I talking about here? Well, I got a story coming for you guys today from sportsmedia.com. I'm going to go ahead and read through it and just listen along with me. This one's a kind of crazy one. Here is the headline. F1 Delta Time, a blockchain game shuts down. Pay-to-earn games used NFTs that sold for six-figure sums. That's why I said $288,000, guys. That's a lot of money. Blockchain game F1 Delta Time has been shut down after its creators were unable to renew its license with Formula One, leaving players with a potentially expensive non-fungible tokens, NFTs, that are now essentially worthless. You can't use them with the game, and they were made to use with the game as their proof of like being worth something. Because it's always the thing with NFTs these days. You want to have a project that says, okay, we have the NFTs. Are they going to be turned into an animation? Or are they going to be used into a game? Like, let's say, I'm just using Axie Infinity as just a random example. Just whatever it might be, you could be turned into something. And I'm just using Axie, even though I know Axie Infinity had their own scandal with $600 million that disappeared recently. I'm not going into that, but I'm just using them. Let's say if they use NFTs, that kind of situation. Let's keep reading though. Expired licenses are not uncommon in video game sector, leading to titles being withdrawn from sales or online components being shut down. Like I said, all the time that happens. However, most of these games do not involve significant financial investments. And let's be real here. If you're spending $300,000 almost on a NFT in a video game for a car, it's an investment more than it is that you want that specific F1 car in the game. Like with $300,000, you could kind of buy a pretty nice car, a real one, like really nice car. In fact, like you put in a garage for $300,000. Shit, you might even be able to buy a house somewhere in the Midwest with that amount of money. Maybe in America, maybe, who knows these days. The game saw players collect and trade unique NFTs representing cars, drivers, and other components and use them in various game modes to win utility tokens that could contribute to the cost of other items. Each NFT had different statistics that determined their in-game performance, while several rare items were minted during the game's lifespan that sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, before they said minted and all this stuff, like, different statistics, different performance, these are all things I've seen before in game with in game mechanics. This is one of my bigger problems with a lot of these NFT games. The things that the NFTs do are mechanics that were already existed in the games, either through microtransactions or just features in games, like different card packs in games. Different cards might have different statistics and different rarities, and you don't need NFT to collect to do that. The NFT aspect of it is so that you can sell to somebody else and get some type of investment value out of it. But once again, once the game shuts down, if you're a late comer to this, you might have just lost out all your money into this. Or if there's a big hack like what happened with Axie, a lot of that currency might take a big dive, which is where this turns from something that could be just affecting you maybe for a few months if you're one of those whales spending $10,000 to $20,000, where this could be financially devastating. Somebody losing hundreds of $1,000s in what they potentially thought was going to be a long-term investment could be a horrific situation here. Once again, I don't think anybody should be spending more than $20,000 in any game right now. I don't see a game that's even worth that to me personally in my life. I mean, like, within a year span, I couldn't imagine spending that much money on anything. Maybe if you spend, I don't even know, even at World of Warcraft, if you've been playing World of Warcraft since the day came out, I don't know if anybody's, really wants to spend that much money into that game. Even in your monthly subscription over that span of time, I don't know if that would even equal to that much money. But let's keep on going. Last year, a 70th anniversary car sold for $265,000. Whew, that's a lot of money. Making it both the most expensive licensed Formula One NFT and the most expensive virtual car ever sold. Just one day later, this record was broken by another virtual car that raised the funds for the Brush Fire, which is the name of the Australian Brush Fire, was sold for $288,000, guys. Yeah. A large part of the value of these NFTs sold was derived from the utility in F1 Delta time, meaning the end of the game renders them largely cosmetic. So what are you going to do with those cars now? You can't drive them in the game. You can't sell to somebody else to use it in the game. The platform to really utilize this stuff is not there anymore. So yes, the tokens and the NFTs still exist, and there could be a possibility that somebody wants these for those prices. But unfortunately, there's been graphs out there. The price floor has been just bad. It looks pretty bad, guys. It's been pretty stagnant. The prices have just been fall off the earth to the point that the developers, as you'll hear later on in this article, are willing to trade you in your tokens for other stuff. Let's keep going. A large part of... Okay. In a statement confirming that F1 Delta time was to close after just 3 years, the company behind the game celebrated these sales records while also detailing how players could exchange their vastly depreciated virtual assets for other rewards, including NFTs and other motorsports themed games. These include virtual cars for equivalent value or power, vouchers, or virtual currencies. It's with deep regret that we announced that F1 Delta Time will cease operations. It's said, whilst we have not been able to renew our license, we will ensure that current owners of F1 Delta assets are rewarded for their loyalty and support. We're taking measures to offer players and asset holders ways in which they can participate in the wider Rev Motorsports ecosystem, which includes MotoGP Ignition, Formula E High Voltage, Rev Racing, and Torque Drifting. It's unclear why the company name, which is valued at more than $5 billion, was unable to renew its agreement. So, you're worth more than $5 million. You weren't able to renew your agreement with Formula One to continue pumping out what probably made them some money for F1. But I probably think maybe F1 was looking at the bad feedback as a whole happening with NFTs right now. If you guys haven't heard recently, there was a big FBI, police case going on where these two individuals were caught with doing these very, very shady pump and dumps for NFTs, promising the world, and they get caught. Go out there, watch Kira TVs, the CoffeeZillas. They'll break all that technical stuff out there, some ordinary gamers, but people were scamming other players and other people. With NFTs, they got caught and they are getting prosecuted, and it's making some other players out there in the NFT scam games really scared. And I can see somebody like Formula One wants to step away and be careful that they are not, involved in here. This is always going to be bad for these type of new emerging industry, because there are a lot of scammers jump into it before the laws are in the books hardened yet, and try to take advantage of people who just don't know the best, or just have too much money to waste. That's just the honest truth with it. And sometimes you just take advantage of sports fans. I mean, look at the FIFA games. Look at FIFA itself. Look at the soccer industry across the world. There is a lot of corruption in that. And I'm just saying soccer for the American audience is football for the rest of the world. I honestly do know that. I was not even born in this country, so I definitely do know that. So guys, my personal opinion here is I'm not surprised by this, because video games shut down all the time. It happens. You lose access to characters you spend hundreds, if not thousands of hours in MMOs. You pay your monthly subscription and you can't do anything with that. You're not going to get any refund. But if it was a great game and you had your fun along the way, great. The aspect of the NFT, I think what people are trying to say is like, oh, after the game shuts down, you'll still have your NFT. You potentially could sell it back for something. It's something. You get some money back. But spending $300,000 and potentially getting back $3,000 is not something. I would have rather spent $3 and then not be able to get back 3 cents. You understand what I'm saying? A $3 loss for me is way more bearable than a $300,000 loss. That's just how I look at it. Now, of course, there's a wide range between $3 and $300,000, and some people are only going to be spending maybe $10, $50, $100. But the honest truth is, this game was not that great. If you guys go look up F1, this Delta game, which I'll link in the description to the whole article, it didn't look great. And the reason why I'm not showing you guys footage off the game is because it's F1. If you guys know anything about F1 and sports and stuff like that, footage, I don't even know if the game-wise, I'm not showing it. Because that shit on YouTube is going to be smart and smacked down quick. So, it's going to be a risky time going forward for Ubisoft and all these other companies jumping into this bandwagon of NFTs, especially with the things that they're trying to do already being possible with regular mechanics in video games. Microtransaction, pack openings, different statistic, rarities, all concepts that's been in video games since NES, I bet even all earlier than that, all those concepts have been there forever. So you don't need NFTs to have those. NFTs add a financial component to it, which could risk your game either becoming regulated into being gambling, being a financial assets, which is a whole nother tricky thing. You gotta be very careful if you turn yourself into that. Right now, the market is kind of free. A lot of scams are out there, so be careful. It's just my own opinion here, guys, but I'm gonna tell you guys, if you're gonna be doing any of these NFT gamings, make sure you guys really look at the project and be like, could they have just done this without it needing an NFT? Am I buying into this because it's an investment, or because I think that it's actually a great value and a great addition to this game? Am I buying this NFT mech, as you see for these mobile games that get played on my videos or any other videos, these ads? Am I buying this mobile NFT because I think this is a great, awesome mech and I want to kind of digitally own it? Or am I buying this NFT because I literally like the art and I kind of want to earn it? Like, if that's your thing, if you like the art and you want to own it, sure, go ahead. If they just promise you this cool art and that's all there is to it, sure. Maybe not over $100 for it though, but hey, I don't got it like that. If you do, that's great for you. Be here with the Unsolved Game Show. I'm back making more videos. You can check out more of my videos all around me. Click subscribe, because most of the people who watch my videos are not even subscribed. Yes, guys, probably over 90% of the people who actually watch these videos are not subscribed, so hit that subscribe button and click the stuff around me. And until next time, peace out. I'll try to get you guys some more videos soon. I thought this was interesting, so that's why I made the video. Later.